Are you starting a new small business here in New York, specifically upstate New York? Probably wondering, what insurance do I actually need? Get this wrong, one claim could wipe you out before you even get started. We'll break it down, make it easy, so that way you can launch with confidence. The problems you may face, whether you're a contractor, freelancer, or opening a storefront, having the right insurance isn't just about compliance. It's about protecting everything you're working hard to build. Without the right coverage, a lawsuit, property damage, or even an injury could shut you down overnight. The essential coverages that you might need, things like general liability insurance, covering for somebody walking in your door, slips and falls, dropping a hammer, spilling paint, anything like that, accidental damage, those sorts of things. Then we can move on to workers' compensation. If you have employees, you better have workers' comp as well as disability in place before you have any employees on the site. Otherwise, you'll have New York State Workers' Comp Board as well as the risk of their injuries coming back on you. So having these two coverages in place is huge. They will cover medical bills, lost wages, that type of thing, rehabilitation, even death. So you got to have that. That's one of the biggest ones. Huge fines if you don't. One of the other ones, commercial auto insurance. If you're using a vehicle, even your personal vehicle, if you run to the bank with it, you just do an errand with it for your business, it's business use. They could deny your claim and therefore no coverage. You total that vehicle, you hurt somebody, anything like that might not be covered unless you have a commercial auto policy. The other thing is the commercial autos pairing with the general liability. Many companies are requiring you to have these both with them in order to even place the coverage. Your business property, so if you have a lot of inventory that you sell, if you have a lot of tools, if you have anything like that, the physical space that you're working on, let's say you improve the rental that you have, or you have a building, well, you're going to want the coverage for that in case you have a fire, theft, anything like that. Some other things like E&O coverage, so professional liability. So if you're a consultant, some contractors, even wedding planners, things like that, you may be in a professional class that you would need a professional liability for, or errors and omission. Big differences there, similar to liability, but for the professional side. So sometimes this can be added to your regular general liability policy, sometimes not. Sometimes it's another policy. Another one is cyber liability insurance. Like the E&O, this might be able to be added to your policy, or it might be a separate policy. So almost everybody is using their phones or laptops or taking credit cards. If you're doing any of this, then you're at risk for cyber attacks. People can steal the data. You could be on the hook for paying for credit monitoring, all of that. They could just shut you down. They could do ransomware. So many of these huge issues that could have huge implications on your business. And a very inexpensive cyber liability policy could help you. How much will it all cost? Well, that depends on what industry you're in. If you're, a higher risk class, it's going to cost more. But it's the barrier to entry for your industry. It also means you're probably charging more for your services or product. Also the location. Sometimes location, if you're working in, let's say, New York City, sometimes the liability for contractors is a little harder to get and or more expensive than if you're here in central New York, where the population is a little less dense. And there's some other risk factors that come into play in there that an independent agent would be able to help you out. Overpaying can be a big risk if you don't have a good agent on your side. So reach out to a good independent agent. We're happy to help, obviously, but please just reach out to somebody good in your area that responds to your phone calls, answers your questions, whatever they can do to help you, and just make that step. Call them today. Call us. We'll help you. Thank you.